welcome back to another devlog. I'm Jeff Mumm, the creator of Guinea Pig Parkour. A late Happy New Year for 2024, since I haven't made a new devlog this year yet. But it seems like it's about time to make a new devlog and catch you up on what's been going on. There is one thing off the top that I would like to talk about before we get into what's been going on, and that's just the upcoming Kickstarter. So, in case you don't know, I'm going to be launching a new Kickstarter, hopefully sometime this year. And it's going to be pretty exciting because this Kickstarter is going to be for not only finishing Guinea Pig Parkour, but we're going to be producing Joe plushies and potentially physical copies of the game. And we'll be porting it to multiple platforms, including Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. And we'll also be producing some other cool goodies for rewards. So because it is a lot more involved than the first Kickstarter, I'm waiting to launch until first the demo is done, but second, I want to make sure that we have at least 5,000 followers to ensure that it's off to a good start when we launch it. So if you are interested in participating in the Kickstarter, please go ahead and take a second to follow it on the campaign's page. There should be a link in the YouTube description, and help me get to 5,000 followers. And when you do follow, you'll be notified as soon as the Kickstarter launches, and that will also be the time that I launch the public demo, so you'll be notified as soon as the demo is available. Okay, with that out of the way, let me catch you up on what's been going on. So since it is a new year, I thought I would start by kind of recapping 2023. Now in 2023, I launched this new devlog series, and I did a lot of work on what I'll talk about later, which is the lo-fi study with me animated live stream. I spent a lot more time on that than I would have wanted or had anticipated. It was a cool idea that occurred to me exactly 1 year ago, February 2023. If I had known it would have taken quite as much time, I might not have done it, but I do think it came out really well, and I'll talk about that more later. I did make some progress on Guinea Pig Parkour in 2023, but I would say it was my least productive year in probably 10 years. I just seem to have a lot going on for some reason. I was dealing with the aftermath of a breakup. I stayed with family for a lot of the year, and where they are is very isolated, so that was difficult. If you watched the previous devlog, you know that this summer I had what I call my mental health summer, where I sort of broke myself down and built myself back up in therapy. And that was the most intense thing I've gone through as far as emotional processing in therapy. I also got sick 4 times in 6 months. I got sick in August, October, November, and January. And I never get sick. So it was very frustrating, every month or every other month, to be laid out for a week. And then in January, I actually got sick for 3 weeks. I guess they said it was mono. And I was really bad for 3 weeks. I could hardly even watch TV. I was not okay. And I've never been sick that long. So it was a mental challenge. I kind of went to some dark places in the 3rd week. But it did make me appreciate health in a different way. It made me not take my health for granted anymore. It might sound dramatic, but it was such a dismal 3 weeks that it really did shift my perspective. And the benefit of it was, on the other side, I made a conscious choice to really pay attention to my nutrition. And I got an app that helps track how many vitamins and nutrients you're getting in everything you eat. And that's helped me really stay on top of what I'm eating and eat healthier and be healthier. And I just kind of don't take every day for granted anymore. I remember what it felt like when I could do almost nothing. And the first week was this really intense brain fog that I've never experienced before. And I was really worried that it might last months. Because I've never had, as far as I'm aware, I've never had coronavirus, which I'm really lucky, but I'm also really careful. And part of me thinks maybe the reason I got sick so many times was because this is the first year I wasn't wearing a mask. And maybe my immune system wasn't as robust because I've been protecting myself for years. But yeah, it's been 2023 was a really weird year. And it was really difficult because I was working on the stream. And the whole point of me making the stream was to have a better connection with my audience. and be able to be in contact like every day. But it took so long to make the stream that I went like a full year almost without being able to upload anything or promote anything or stay in contact, really. I mean, I did the devlogs. That was my one point of contact, I guess. But it was difficult. It was I had to sort of. It was probably healthy for me. It forced me to see who I am outside of the identity of a person making something and sharing it with people. Like, I had to just be okay being me, and that was probably part of the emotional journey too. So I don't know. I would say it was a strange year. It was not as productive as I would have wanted. However, I did finish the stream, which I'm proud of. And I did make some progress on the game, but not as much as I would have wanted. I had a huge emotional shift, so I'm proud of that I was able to... I had a huge shift in self-acceptance and learning to honor how I feel and not suppress or numb what I feel, which was my pattern. And it's interesting, I posted a picture yesterday, like a progress photo, because I found an old photo from the 2021 or something where I was really overweight from the pandemic. And I don't know why, but I just felt like, this is cool. I can see that I made progress. I'm going to post a photo of me before and after. And it's the kind of thing I would never do. Like, I don't even use social media like in my personal life, but I didn't. And normally I'd be like super embarrassed to post that. But I think I've reached this level of self-acceptance where it's just like, well, why not? I mean, I'm happy that I made that progress, and maybe it will inspire someone else to go, hey, if he can lose the weight, so can I. And everyone was super supportive. I don't know, I didn't feel weird or embarrassed about it, which was surprising. But it just goes to show, I think, the emotional shift I've had this year. And I mean, that's part of why I'm doing the devlog too, is to be more personal and have the duality of being a human being and a human being that produces work. An unexpected thing I worked on in January before I got sick was I saw the news about Steamboat Willie, the original Mickey Mouse, going into public domain. And I thought it would be fun to do something with that. So I started animating Joe's animations with Mickey Mouse, that version, the public domain version. And I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to continue that or what I'm going to do with it. But I did get a good response, and people were excited at the idea that it could be like an unlockable skin in the game. So I don't know, I might do that. I was thinking about maybe making like a really short game based on Steamboat Willie, but we'll see. I'll kind of play it by ear, but it was kind of fun. It's fun to be able to take that iconic character and animate it in my style with Joe's animations. And I mean, you can see I have like the Steamboat Willie plushie and a figure. Like, that's always been my favorite version of Mickey Mouse. And it just seemed like perfect that like one of my biggest sources of inspiration is now open for me to use. So yeah, I don't know. It's fun to play with, and we'll see what I do with it. But keep an eye out. I'll at least continue reanimating some of Joe's animations and see what the response is. So yeah, so then let's get to the lo-fi stream, because that turned out to be the big project of 2023. It was just like a flight of fancy last year. I was using these study with me videos to keep me focused while I was working. And of course, the Lo-Fi Girl video everyone knows at this point. And I just had this idea like, oh, I could combine these all together. Combine the Lo-Fi Girl, combine Study With Me with the Pomodoro technique, which is something that I actually used. And I actually in 2013, I invented that system on my own and then found out it was already existed and called the Pomodoro technique. So it's a good system. It helps you focus because you have a block of time where you know this is my time to focus, and then I have a short break to clear my mind, and then I'm back to work. And so it's interesting to see that those are popular now. People are more aware of that method. And yeah, I've done live streaming in the past with my animation process, so I thought it would be neat to take all those and combine them. I hadn't seen anyone do that. I just didn't anticipate how long it would take to make. Of course, the biggest investment of time was animating my avatar, because obviously hand-drawn animation just takes a long time. But also it was animating a really complex figure, and I'm used to animating a really simple cartoony figure. And animating like subtle movement is actually a lot more complicated than animating really silly, goofy movement. But I do think it was probably a really good experience for me because I do plan on creating more elaborate characters for boss fights. And so it did help me create a process that I could consistently use to animate a more complex character. And I've become so familiar with animating a simple, goofy character. It's like second nature to me. And so it was really daunting at first to animate this complex character with subtle movement. That is a human, and we know what humans, how they move, and we're so tuned in to if it looks off. It's different than like with Joe, he's so exaggerated. I have a lot more freedom and I can play a lot looser with it. So yeah, I think that was actually like probably really good so that when I do start animating the bosses, I already have that method in place and I'm not going to have to like animate it and then scrap it and reanimate it. And so yeah, the lo-fi streams, I've streamed 4 days so far, and I would say the response has been about what I expected, except on TikTok. So I'm streaming to multiple platforms, and this happens when I start streaming. It's like, it's pretty dead. It's like you get a few people. And in the past, after about a month, you start getting more consistent people showing up. And so hopefully that will happen. But TikTok is interesting because I think what happens is people see a video that I post and then they see that I'm live. And so it's just a different algorithm or something. And I'll go from having a few viewers to having like 100. And for me, that's a lot of viewers because I'm used to having like maybe like 2 to 10. So that was neat to see that, and the response so far has been really good. I think people appreciate what I've created, and it is unique, and people seem to really respond well to it, and they kind of appreciate it for the reasons that I would want them to. Like, it's setting a vibe, and it's just kind of a cool way to present a live stream. And I had an instinct about that, but I spent so long on it that I did start getting worried. Like, are people even going to appreciate this? But so far people have, so that's been satisfying and gratifying. Yeah, I would say the main goals that I've had for the stream, like the reason that I put so much time into it, was first I wanted a way to stay in contact with my audience while I'm developing the game. So it became stressful to have to figure out how to post stuff to social media, because sometimes you work on stuff that just isn't like that. It's not postable like that. It's not a chunk that you can show. And so I kind of wanted to separate that from my process and just have it be, I'm just going to show the process every day. And so there's always a way to stay in touch with my audience. Also, because development is taking so long, I wanted to be more transparent that I am working every day and show what I'm working on. And then the hope for the stream is that it will raise awareness for the game, because there's at least a possibility that it can reach an outside audience of people who might just use it as a study with me video. And then it also gives an opportunity to continually reinforce certain things like as I said at the beginning, that I'm trying to reach 5,000 followers on Kickstarter. I have that as a progress bar on the stream. And then there is an option to donate to the stream using the site Buy Me a Coffee. And so I am hoping that it can kind of help fundraise for the game's development before the Kickstarter launches, because it's going to be a while before the demo's done. And my bank account is pretty much empty now. Like, I was really cutting it close, and I'm going to have to scramble to figure out what I'm going to do. So I don't know. I've got some things lined up, like online kind of gigs, but I am hoping that maybe the streaming can bring in some income to keep me going, because it will be difficult to, I might have to start going back to part-time game development, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I did create 2 animated reactions. So when people donate a coffee, there's some fun animations that I created. So it'll be interesting to see if people start donating, what people's reaction to that is. So yeah, I'd say that's probably wraps up catching you up on 2023 and what I've created and the stream. And now the good news is the stream is done. I can just do that now every day. And so that means that I can put 100% of my time back into the game and getting this demo done, which is super important to me. And I think will be a huge thing when it's completed. And I'm super excited to share a fully polished demo to just show everyone exactly what I'm trying to create here, because I do realize that I'm really fortunate with the response that I've gotten so far, but it's based on very limited gameplay. It's more about the style right now, and there's just a lot that's going to be shown in the demo that I think will get people excited. So I'm excited to see people's reaction to it. And I know I said this in a much earlier devlog and I've been derailed and sidetracked, but now I'm actually at a point. The stream is done. I've got nothing else to do. I am getting the first room of the demo done. I'll send it out to backers, hopefully within a month. I said that before, but I had all this other stuff on my plate and life stuff. But barring, getting sick again, hopefully I'll be healthy and I'll be productive and I will get this first room done. I'll get it out to backers and then we will get in the groove where I will be getting chunks of the demo done, sending that out to backers, getting feedback and making progress and getting to a point where I can release the demo and launch the Kickstarter. So yeah, I mean, that's all for now. I'll make a new devlog soon. After I've done some work on the game, I can show you the first room maybe, or I'll see where I am. Until then, please, if you're interested in the Kickstarter, follow the campaign. Let's get that up to 5,000 followers at least. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.